Okay, let's start. We need to turn it on. Hi all. Okay, so this will be a hands-on workshop on Google Firebase. Before going to do hands-on, basically let's a little bit get in touch and understand who is looking for something to see now or today. I would like just to know if someone heard about Firebase before. Oh, cool. Yeah, fine. And basically today we will build some product from scratch, and I would like to learn if somebody has some startup idea or thinking about something. No? So who are developer here? Okay. Okay. Some names of some languages. Oh, cool. Okay. And is there anybody designer or manager? Okay. Someone intern? Intern. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Okay, cool. Is there anybody know JavaScript or learning it? Okay. So basically it will be based on JavaScript. These microphones should be somehow more closer. I think so. Now better? Yeah. Okay. So I hope you bring your laptops, but as I see no one bring. But you have phones. I hope so. Okay. So here is a link, you can visit it. And I will too.
For now they can take photo with the phones, right? Or
I don't know. Yeah, you can save this link. So basically this link will be this document. You can see it here. So to keep format, I didn't make it with PDF, so we use still Google, and in PDF it will break all styling and all everything here. So what it is about? So basically I was thinking what to build with you together today, and I came to one idea basically, which will be possibly later will come to some new product. And speaking honestly, you are now on a first presentation of this product. But idea comes from a mind what to show you. So what we, before this, before showing demo, this is what we will learn. Brief intro, what is the cloud and what is PaaS and SaaS, basically in short. Does anybody know what is a SaaS? SaaS, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. Yeah, but it's not a supermarket in Armenia. It's a service as a system as a service. Why we need Firebase we will learn. How to start new project using Angular CLI. How to create project in Firebase we will learn. How to connect Firebase to your project. What is basically real-time database and why we need them. And we will create some basic authentication using Google. And we'll learn some storing mechanisms, some asynchronous data retrieval and display, And basically, this is a demo. You can visit by your phone. Business card sharing, I don't know if you can see it well. Let's put it on big picture somewhere. More bigger. And more smaller. So I just created a few days ago this for you to show what it is. And name is, by the way, related to this event. So what it will be? It will be a business card sharing web application. Basically, why I came to this idea, because there is a lot of events are going on, and a lot of people are printing a lot of business cards and trying to give his card on some event to someone. Sometimes he meet him, sometimes he just bring business cards with him and take them back to home. And business card is not going to the target. And this web application will solve this problem. So when you go to this page, if our Wi-Fi will work, okay. And this is a demo. I just will show you what you will get. Yeah, there is something with Wi-Fi. Yep. Yep, sure. Just a second. I have my Wi-Fi. So this is a link. Does anybody was able to join to this page, to application? Yeah, on the right corner you will see your icon if you log in with Google. Okay, log in using Google. Oh, you're here. Basically, I have here my icon and my profile page, and I can fill some data here. For example, my company, my position, some data if you would like, and update it. And go to homepage by clicking to name. Yeah, so you will see a lot of cards of who already attending to this event. And basically this is already sharing of some contacts. If people would like to connect later after event, they have all contacts, they can just find someone who is interesting for their business and connect them. So during this workshop we will create this application. It will take maybe 1 hour or maybe more, depends from how quick you will learn. Is there any questions regarding this part? About this application? Is there anybody with laptop? No? Okay. Yeah, in this document, which you probably already opened it, we have demo and we have also, okay, let's leave this friendly chat. Okay, so just a second, I will is there anybody trying to reach this website also? You can do it by your phones. And this is for newcomers who just joined us. This is new web application which we will build today. And it is business card sharing application. So everybody can log in using Google account. And we will see their business cards for later. Maybe, for example, our company is looking for interns to start internship with them, and we just want to see how many people are there and who are interested. And also here can be some new fields which people can fill. For example, interested in internship or interested in cooperation and so on. Okay, so this application we built with Angular, and who know about Angular? Who heard? I know Annie. Who else? Okay, cool. How long? 2 years? 1 year? Okay, cool. So this application we built using Angular. If someone have laptop, we can go through together to install Angular CLI. CLI is basically command line interface. For developers, it's very common to use terminal instead of going by a lot of buttons and pressing next to install something. In Linux and in Mac, we just open terminal, put some command, press enter, and everything is done. So to start developing on Angular, we will need Angular CLI, and for sure we will need to have npm and Node.js on our computer. Node.js is for server side to show and to handle server side code, and npm is install Node packages module to install packages. Yeah, let's say we have all this already, and we can start new fresh application. And for this, you will need also some IDE. For example, some text editor like VS Code or WebStorm or Sublime, if it is saying something to you, I hope. So I'm using, to be honest, VS Code. New release. Okay. And we can open just terminal. Go to some directory. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, great,
Better. Okay. For example, Angular 7 and sorry. We can open some new directory by all these commands you will be able to find on our doc. So we go to create new folder, go to this folder and create new project. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's go to Angular workshop. Yeah, and because we have already Angular CLI, we can just use ng-new and name our application. So ng-new business card sharing, for example, and it will ask us, would you like to add Angular routing? Let's make it bigger, like this. Okay, we just follow this. For example, later, if you would like to do it from home, you can take this doc. It's for you. It is share it for everyone, and you can just go home, open, and try to make this application yourself. Again. Okay, so this one is yes. This we choose which kind of styling we would like to have, SCSS, SAS, or CSS. Let's use SAS. And there is some problem with permissions, sorry. So we will, so on Linux-like applications, we are almost doing everything with terminal, even permissions. So we can do oops. Okay, let's make things easier to have clear everything here. But we basically can continue from a user which have all permissions on this computer. Okay, you can see it well. So we go to this doc, and what we need to do, we need to ng business card sharing, yeah? Okay. ng new business card sharing, Angular routing, yes, SAS, and it's creating all files which we need, basically, you can see. It's creating a lot of files, but we don't need to go deep in every details here. We just create a new project. Okay, and basically, what else we can do? We can just go through the application and go through some questions if you have. Maybe this format will be better for you. For example, about Angular, about cloud. Basically, does anybody know exactly what is cloud? And how much deep you know that? Cloud. Let me say a little bit about this, about cloud and why we need it. Basically, if there will no any cloud, to have backend or to have some database, we will need to have some hosting or some server for it, and we will need to hire some developers or even system administrators who will build this for us, and we will join to our database. Now, as we have SaaS, so it is system as a service, This system already provides us all this system, all this service. So we don't need to have our hosting. We don't need to have some database management system, some DevOps there. We have just cloud which is providing this service. And basically, for example, here, yeah, we have more people. What this Firebase and what cloud is doing, it is also real-time database. So real-time database is if someone will change something here, we will immediately see these changes. People who have already logged in here, maybe someone can change some data on their site now. During this we will see that the data is going to be changed. There is some GK park. So if we will try to get this real-time database structure or architecture, we will need to have some server which is getting real-time database and which is updating these changes to us. So we will need to listen this server always, and if there is some changes, reflect them on our side and do some timer architecture or some intervals to get this data, or just wait for some event when this data is changed and you will get this data back and display it. But with cloud you have already all this, especially with Firebase. We have all this, we just connect to Firebase. Yeah, you can see data is changed in real time. And you don't need to do a lot of backend things. So for example, I have some idea of some product and I would like to pay attention or design or user experience or in all details of server architecture to understand how big server I need to have, how much faster it need to be, or is it up always or not, and so on. There is a lot of details we need to consider, and you need to care if you don't have any cloud solutions or if there is no SaaS. So if there is no service which you can use. So for that we use Firebase, and let's go basically to Firebase Console. This is a link to Firebase Console where you can create a project for you. So you need to, yeah, sure.
Firebase is platform or platform as a service? Or
It's a SaaS basically. It's a system as a service which provides some softwares also as a service, database as a service, and there is a lot of hosting as a service. Basically, there is a lot of products they have, but this is service, system which contains a lot of. So I am logged in here by my Gmail, and basically this business card sharing. This is a project which I already created. And I even have here some analytics things, like I can see my database usage, I can see from which country it is used, I can see some demographic things like country, even gender, even I can see how many women in tech is in this application. And this is a database, so I don't need to architecture a lot of things or some deep knowledge about database and about architecturing my system. I just need to use cloud on my side. So also we have here, for example, in database there is sign-in methods already built in. So I just enable, for example, Google, I enable it, and now I can use my Google account to authenticate to my application. So I don't need to go and create new account, create new password and try to remember this password. I can use Google, my account, or I can use Facebook account to log into my application. Yeah, so this is a little bit intro about cloud, about real-time databases, about system as a service, and let's go a little bit deep in our new web application. As I said already, it is a business card sharing application, which is this one. And so what we have, we already built some form where you can fill some data and it will reflect here. So what we are doing for this, let's go to new window, This is Visual Studio Code. This is for developers, very useful text editor. Basically it's text editor, but it's designed for Angular-like projects where there is a lot of useful tools which will help us. So after running command ng-new, it created our application, and there is a lot of configuration files. So basically Angular application is here with source, with all files which we need here. Let's go to our doc and see what else we need to do here. So we have installed it, we have created, and yeah, we can just run it and see a result. So to run, we need to use command ng-serve, and I used --open, attribute, so it will, sorry, I need to go to this directory. So open will just, after serving, it's starting compilation, creating bundles of project, and after finishing it will just open a web app. So this is already a ready page, which is just created by ng-new and name of command. So, and you can just quickly see a result. I can just go to my application. There is, for example, app component where I have all this text, and for example, welcome, here is the title, yeah? So this is our application. When I'm changing something there and saving, it's updating here. So this is also some functionality of ng-serve already. It's Angular from Angular CLI. So what we are going to do next? We are going to create new project. So let's say you are new in Firebase. We need to go to console of Firebase and just create new project. And we can name it with name whatever we want, like workshop Armenia. And if there is some already project named with this, it will add some random numbers here. But if you are first time creating, so as I understand, workshop in Armenia is the first time in Google Firebase. And we need to accept some terms, there is for sure terms, and create project. It will show us very cool some loading, which is showing us there is some preserving resources, creating, dedicating, finishing, and our project in Firebase will be created. So we go continue, and this is a page of our Firebase. Let's see if we can make it bigger a little bit. Yeah. So this is Firebase Console, where we have authentication, we have databases, we have storage, hosting, functions. So function is FAAS. It is function as a service. If someone knows, it's very good, but if someone didn't know yet, so for example, I would like to have some function like I would like to visit some page and someone will get a SMS from that. So, or I would like to even payment system. I need some web page where people can, or like endpoint, where information is coming about card data to charge card for some amount. And for that, I don't need to have hosting. I don't need to have even page. I'm just creating an endpoint where data is coming and it's processed and returning me back some information. So, for example, in case of card, it's a little bit, I'm not always saying about this card because there is a lot of security things which people need to care. So let's start from some SMS things which are less security things, but also important. No one should get some not required SMS messages, but so functions is function in cloud which already exists, and you need just to write your code there. So you just open your function and put a code. So for example, send SMS when someone is writing some message. For example, you can add functionality in your web application even if someone in your blog there is someone, for example, written Armenia, you will get a SMS. So for this you don't need to have a lot of hosting, a lot of backend developers and so on. You can just write this backend functionality and you will get this SMS if your code is correct, fully. Yeah, so there is a lot of tools, a lot of analytics things. There is hosting. So for example, what we are doing when we need some web application to be running public already. We go, we buy some domain, we buy some hosting, we put it somewhere, a lot of boring things. But for now, I just need some public URL like we have now with our business card, where it is. Yeah, this one. So you can see business card sharing woman.firebase.com. So this is subdomain of firebase.com. So and it's also HTTPS, so it's already secure. And later I can join my own domain here. But now it is just already ready some URL where I can just preview my application or share it with someone before starting creating my business name or product name and so on. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So, if I'm not mistaken, functions part is for the owner of the website or to do some management, or
it is basically, it can be, so functions, there are different type of functions. There is like a function of endpoints, there is function on some triggers. For example, you can put function which is triggered when there is some new record added in your database. So you define your functions when it triggered. It can developer do, for sure there is developers who write this function. And in function you can have different options on what you would like to be triggered. So it's triggered where someone is visiting some URL, you define this, or there is some database changes, or anything in storage edit. There is different triggers. So function is standalone something in a cloud, which you don't need to handle or worry when it is running or not running. It's always running, and you just need to write correct triggers when it will be fired. So it will start working. And in your database, you can, in function, you can write anything which you would like. So for example, I can show some example of function. It is basically a next step of Firebase when you start already writing some functions there, because it's more high level things. But here is also, I created yesterday for you some chat, which is again based on Firebase. So you can log in here and say something here. Yeah, for example, workshop-friendly-chat Firebase app.com. If someone will join there, and yeah, no, it's there is very flexible solutions for messaging, for sure, but in the beginning it was just creating for databases, to have your database and backend side on a cloud instead of having it on your hosting. So if someone will join, I will get this message even I'm not on this application. Yeah, so it is here. If we make it bigger. Yes, so but let's go back to...
So there is one extra I after F in friendly.
Yeah, it's some unique name.
Just making sure people know.
Yeah, okay. So, but let's go back to our new product, business card sharing. So for this product, what we will need to have, besides thinking about design and thinking about functionality of front end, we will need also to think about where to host it, which kind of database to use, where to store all this data, because this business card, somewhere it is stored. So later when you come to this page, you can see this information which already is there. And without Firebase, we will need to think about all this and forget about most important things like user experience or business logic of your application. So Firebase is just helping us to get things more easier on backend side and more stable. Yeah, so let's go forward.
Let's see if anyone joins.
I will see it here if someone will join, because I'm... Yeah, cool. Just a second. I need to join too. I was thinking it's open it on my side, but seems now.
We get notification.
Oh, here it is. So, and if I go out from this page, even write something there. Yeah, hi or something, I don't know. It should.
Yeah, I got notification when I was taking.
Yeah? Cool. I need to enable it on my side too, so I will get some notifications. Writing something long?
She's writing something that she's writing.
Okay, yeah, but let's come back to this. Somehow notifications are not working so well. there should come notifications that someone joined. But this function or this message, like this is done by Firebase functions. So as soon as ASCII joined, there is function triggered that some new record added in a user's table or collection, and there is function which is writing this text in a chat, and also sending some notification to people who are already on a chat somewhere. This is about functions. But let's go back to our business card sharing application and build what we have here. So we have simple application which is just empty with some links. Yeah, and let's see what else we need to do. In this document you will find all instructions and even code which you can use. Just copy paste somewhere where is mentioned. Okay, we open Firebase new project. This is Workshop Armenia, yeah? And we have here, to get started, we need to join it to our Firebase application. So this is credentials which we need, configurations which we need to define in our app. It is in environments. So if you go to SRC app environment, there is environment TS and environment production TS. And here we can just put Firebase and put these codes. I'm not sure if you can see big enough. Okay, I will try to do all this very quickly so you will see a result. So we take this code and based on these credentials, our application will join to this Firebase project. Let's follow just because I can do very fast and you will not see a result, but okay, we took this, we created project, we took these configurations and put in our environment TS and environment production TS, and we need to go to Firebase and enable authentication of Google, because we need that our users should be able to use Google authentication and join to our application. So we enable it, save. There is a lot of other authentications, we don't need it now. Okay, authentication, enable it. Yeah, now we use Angular CLI and use npm install Firebase and Angularfire. So this is a modules for Angular to be able to, Angular will be able to join, to connect to Firebase. There is a lot of functionality, but we don't go deep in how these modules are written, we just use them. So we do npm install Firebase Angularfire. Okay, it can take some time, but it's okay. If you would like to use some better package manager, I will recommend you to use Yarn. If someone knows about that, Yarn. Instead of npm, we all respect npm, but Yarn is faster. you can do anything there. Okay, so after this command, you can see edit 107 packages from only this command which we did, and we don't need to know all of them. This is just the packages which Firebase need for Angular to connect Angular and Firebase to each other. Later, you can take this code. So in SRC app, let's go to SRC app modules. This is a main section where I'm connecting my modules to my application. So just to save the time, we will copy this part and paste there. This will add Firebase modules to my application and also environment. From environment, yes, which we took from Firebase configurations.
So this is business card for the application, right?
This is new application. We
New
just
application.
yeah, this is new application which have just this look now.
Okay.
It is just welcome to business card sharing Angular. So we are joining now Firebase here. We add modules to our application. We add these configurations, and if someone is not yet using, is trying to do some coding but not using Git, I'm very recommending to use it. Git is a version control system, so you can see here, I see which rows is new here, which rows are modified, and I can track my changes. I can see when something changed, when I did some wrong things, I can come back, or I can just share with my coworker and say, I did this part, you did this part, I continue on that, and collaboration and management also can be done by this. Okay, next, what we are going to do. And yeah, also I would like to create new service which will handle this authentication functionality. So for authentication, I am creating NGGS. It's a shorten of ng generate service, and I'm putting it in a shared folder under service authentication folder. And this command, it's Angular CLI all commands. So ng is just shorten of this, and it's created new file for me, 2 new files. This is in app shared. Let's make it bigger. And I have here authentication service. So service, it is some, you know what is service. I don't need to explain. I think service is providing something. It's very good when they provide something. When service is not providing something, it's not good. So this service, it will provide us authentication. So for this, we need to put some code here, which I prepared for you in this part, and it is a little bit long, but don't worry, you can just take a copy. On screen, maybe it is not so well visible because it is on white. I don't know how to make a Google Doc with black background, but when we put all this here, it looks perfect. Yeah, so what our code have here? I will just very quickly explain what is here. So we are importing Angularfire authentication, Angularfire store, and Angularfire store document. This is some modules which we will need here. Now I'm defining interface of user. Interface, I hope a lot of people know that. Interface, so for interface for data, for object, we define which kind of fields it will have. So we define it, UID, it is user ID, email, photo URL, and some position, company, some data related to our business card. Why we need them? This is very important part, and a lot of developers are doing without this and just going forward to done something without caring a lot of about details. This is a service to make things structured. So when you have interface, you can't create user without company. There is no way to do it because, for example, okay, photo URL, it can be avoided because I put a question mark here. It is mentioning that it's not required for interface. You can avoid it, but the rest fields should be. So, for example, yeah, I hope this part was clear. And
so if we put asterisk, it becomes required, or others?
no, it's asterisk. It's front-end tricks, but it's a good thing. But here it's mentioning that, for example, we can go down and see the part where we creating a user. So what we are doing when user is going, we are opening sign in with pop-up. You saw there is a pop-up of where you put your Google credentials. So we ask Firebase to show this pop-up and ask user to log in, and when he logged in, we get back these credentials. And we send these credentials to update user data, which is creating new user. This is new user for which I don't know yet website, it is empty, position is empty, company is empty, but some parts are, so if I delete this company here, it will show an error here. And will say that user should have company, it is missing. You are not able to create user object instance of this object without defining these fields. Okay, it's just some important part. It is not a very big part of this application, but it's important to keep structuring your.
Detail that matters.
Yes, this one. Okay. Yeah, so we're creating authentication service which have this functionality of authentication. And what else we need? Yeah, we have authentication status check, we have Google login, sign out, all these functions we have in this service already. I just prepared them for you, so we will not do a lot of coding here and boring because you don't have laptops now. Yes, so this is a sign out function which is signing this authentication user out. Name is saying everything here. Yeah, and also we need to do some changes in our app component TS. So we go app component TS. So again, Git is helping us. We edit this service in our app component to use it. So we created service and now we are using it. And we are going to add HTML part and just replace everything with this part. Go to app component, HTML, all this we don't need, we need our code. Okay, so this is hosted part, this is our part. And to keep terminal free, we have terminal in Visual Studio Code. We can do ng serve here, and it will always serve and refresh updates on your page. Yes, what after serve we will see that standard things changed, and now we have howdy guest. Yeah, hi. And here you have login using Google. It's opening already. So this functionality of opening pop-up, I can say this is already from developer could take even 1 day to develop these pop-up things which will get this data, and it will be centered, it will have a lot of credentials, things and a lot of details, and it will return to host of parent window all this data, maybe even more than they, including all bugs and QA and so on, it will take more. But on Firebase we have only one function which is doing all this. Login using pop-outs. That's it. So we are logging in with Google account. And here I have even my picture from Google and my name, and I have even log out, and I'm coming back to this page. So it's already saved 1, 2, or 3 even days already now. Google save it. We can say thank you to them. Let's go forward. So next, this is what I already tell you. Yes, and what are interesting here? Not here, here. I'm logging in with my account, and if I will refresh my page, I will come back to login again. But this is not so much user experience friendly user things. Why this is happening? Because we don't have yet database which are keeping these authentication things. So for this we need to go to just Firebase. There is database section, and say please give us a create database, and we can start with test mode. There is rules which are preventing some so no anyone or everyone can write in your database. You put some rules who can have some access to your database. Okay, let's start just from test mode, where everyone can do everything with your database, but later we will put functionality rules there. So system as a service, or system, yeah, as a service, so database as a service. We just go to Firebase, create database, and it's here. And if we go to our page, login again, and yeah, nothing happened. Maybe I didn't refresh. Oh, okay, it was not refresh. It just yeah, here in database it's already creating records in database. Yeah, we have users here, and we have document about this user which already logged in. And here, if I will refresh it, it is just checking and showing that you are logged in. Okay, let's log out and go forward. This is about creating. Yeah, this is a rule which we can put in our database rule, which is saying allow read to everyone and write if request authentication. This let's avoid, not now. So this is saying that the person who already authenticated to your database, to your system, can write something in your database. So if someone will do something, you will know who was that tricky one. Okay, just let's put this rule, because by the way, Firebase also always sending some notification to you with saying, you know, you have database which are not secure. There is everyone can do write in your database. Let's go and secure your database. Okay, so we don't want to get these notifications and don't want to be hacked. Yeah, let's go forward. Now, what we would like to get. So you see some button here. It's old style, yeah, like 10 or 20 years ago buttons was like this, and we want, like, they are now also like this, but we would like to have some fancy style and some good, so we are going to create some product which will attract our visitors. So we should have some attractive layout of our application. And for this, material design will help us. So material design is, we can go, this is also by Google. So, by the way, this workshop, let's go back, it is not just only Firebase, it is Firebase, material design, and cloud. All this all together, because they are all very related. And as we are creating some new application from scratch, we are showing all these parts together. So let's go, yeah, where it is. Okay, yeah, and if we go by link material IO design, this is a page of material design. And what is material design? You can see from these pictures, it's not a product, it's not a, there is a lot of tools like, maybe you heard like Bootstrap, like some, there is different styling which are defining or adding some styles to your page. But this is not a tool yet, it's just a system. Material design is saying, you know, your button should be rounded. Your button should have 10 pixel margin from next button. This is a rules, this is a system which are saying how your navigation should look like, how, and there is all details. So even navigation, for example, if you click here, it should go open some kind of system is defined. So it's already, Google already investigated all this and created this workaround. So you don't need always to think about, okay, if I put button here, if someone press where it should go or how it should be, some margins, some, yes. Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, it is very good note. Thanks, Ani. When you start writing your application and using material design, you should keep yourself to this system. You should not hear your customers or your SEO even or you should fight for keep this system. If he say, you know, this button is far away from this button and let's make them close to each other, very close, okay, a little bit more, and it's breaking everything. So don't do any changes. If you use material design system, use it. If you don't, go and create yourself something, but don't break something which Google already did for us. Yeah, so, and we are very happy that Angular and material design are interconnected. So when we use Angular, we can use material design in our Angular application. This is material.angular.io, which is a demo of components which we can use in our application, in our Angular application. So here are a lot of components here, like form fields with examples. So form field should look like this, with options, button should be here, and for example, even let's go to buttons. Where is the buttons? You see buttons? Here it is. Yeah, you see buttons are very different and with some click effects. And we would like to have these more stylish things on our application. So what we are doing to have Angular material design on our application, we do just ng add Angular material. We go to our terminal and ng add material, Angular material. Before there was a lot of steps to do this. We were doing a lot of changes in our application, but Angular Cli edit this function, so we use just ng add Angular material. It is asking like which color style you would like to have. It is pinky or more blue or purple, so indigo, and it is asking Harmer.js. It will be hard to explain now, but is joining material with Angular. We would like to have it, and we would like to have animations. Okay, that's it. We have material design, and see you again. No, it's not the end, because I just was showing that it's very easy, that you just write ng add Angular material and that's it. And here we need just to connect this new module which we created. We can do in material module TS. We can create in our application new file, material module get.ts. But it was not the dot, it was something new. Material. And what we are adding here, I will explain it now. So we created new file which is saying let's use this module from Angular material. So in our application we know that we will use input module, we will use toolbar, we will use some card, we will use form field and so on. And we would like to say to our application that include only these modules, please. If we will not say this, it will add all 100 and 200 modules in your application, but you don't use these components. For example, there is a component REPL. I don't know, I even didn't use it yet, but yeah, I used it. There is page like this, there is a lot of modules, there is a lot of, for example, spinner. If you know you will not use it in your module, don't include it. Don't make your application bigger and downloadable longer and
with loading speed.
Yeah. Or progress bar. This is some, I don't know. Okay, progress bar. We don't need it, so we don't include it. This is the idea of moduleness. So Angular and everything in Angular is modular. So you include only things which you need. So we created this material module TS. We define it all this, and we go to app module TS and say, let's use this material. We do this material module also edit, and we add some styles to our buttons. So in simple HTML there is like just a button and some text inside it. But we can say mat raised button. It means that it will be raised with some borders and shadow, and will have some color. Primary color, there is different color systems. And if we save all this, I hope everything is saved, and go to our application, something is not added yet. Yeah, let's check. We missed something here, but okay, material model we have added. Toolbar, buttons. Oh, because we edit only for one button. Let's edit for here too. But it was logout, basically. Mat, raise it, color. Okay. And let's also take this part. Okay, we have all these. We have Maturity button, material, hammer, color. Okay. And I also did some changes here. I have edit toolbar and menu and a lot of elements. And we can just copy this part to our page, to this HTML part. And sometimes we need to turn off our serve and turn it back when a lot of modules are added, a lot of things are changed. We need to serve it so it build again. I hope it is a problem because there is no any other visible. Yeah, that was. It's also some tricky things which you will search in Google maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to find the reason what was the problem.
Is there simple ways, for example,
Yeah.
error message to understand that kind of problem? So
It- create a module in modules user profile. It created a file here, module user profile module. And also I will create a component for it. It will give us also opportunity to use a lazy loading, if someone knows about this. So when your application is running, you show only a page which you would like to show, for example, home page. And for this, you don't need to load and download a page of user. And there is a lot of different definitions for this, and a lot of details, but most important is loading modularly. So your application is not loading with whole application at once. It is loading by modules, and exactly modules which you are going to use. So for this we are creating user profile module, and we are going to add functionality for this. So we go to up routing module. This up routing module is saying about routing of your page. So if you see here, we have different routing, and our URL is going to change. Here is user profile, and when we go to this page, we see cards list. This is routing, and to define this routing and on which URL which routing should show which module, we are going to use code which will be this one. So we are going to replace this routing and import some more code. So in the end it will be something like this. Okay, in up routing module we replace and say that on every path which are different from user profile, go to root. When user profile, go to user profile module. And also we go to user profile module, and there we also adding some routing things. Where it is, app user profile module. I think I'm just replacing it here, and we have route user profile. So when you go to user profile module, it will immediately load user profile component. And already in component we have separate HTML, CSS, TS functionality, and so on. So let's go to app component HTML, and we are going to change it a little bit and replace with this code. So we will have app component HTML. Yeah, by the way, let's do git init. We can just initialize and git status, add these changes, and add what we have added. Firebase and material design. This is what we have already done. Oops. Yeah. So why we did it? Because we would like to see our changes. So now everything is clear, and this page is changed. We have added user part and routing part. Okay. So now what we have so far. Let me close some files. This is saved, and I will explain what is here. Okay, so we separated this module from our app component and from different functionalities. So now we have user profile completely separate from the rest all functionality. And during our work on user profile, we will not break anything else from our application. For example, on homepage, you have done all your work, what you need, and there is nothing to change. You just want to do some changes on user profile, so you don't mix everything. And now, when we go to login, I I think I was logged out already, maybe. So logging in back. And here I have already this menu, and I have, oh, I need to change this. I'm going to add some routing here. Okay, user profile is here, routing is here, app routing is here, profile. Okay. I think something, because we didn't use Git and we didn't saw what changed. Yeah, there is router link. I hope I changed it. So in HTML there should be router link. On menu, user, logout. Yeah, router link, which is going user profile. Okay, I think we did a lot of changes again. We need to serve it again. So when some modules are added, better to do serve again, because it's already built your modules and joining them, and when you change something on your module, it's refreshing your page, but it's not rejoining new modules, I think. Okay, so user profile page, and we have this user profile works because we have it, only this we have in our HTML. We didn't put any code yet, but we have already functionality of routing. So when we go to title, it goes to root. And when we go to our profile, it goes to user profile, and this is already a separate model.
So if it was not working, it will tell them the same message is not working?
I hope in a future CLI, Angular will add this functionality, so it will say, you know, you have added a lot of modules, please do serve again. But developers already know this. They guess something like this happened and just doing refresh. Okay, now adding functionality to our profile page. For this, we are going to user profile component, and we are adding some code here, which I prepared for you already. So we are creating form for this. For this we will need form builder, form group, validators, and so on. To save your time, I will not explain all these details. I will show a result of it. And we take HTML part. So basically in TS is our TypeScript part, and in HTML is our template part. And also let's add some CSS part here. Okay. And also in our material module and React module, we need to add, as we did with material, we added them in our app module. The same we need to do here. So for these forms we will need reactive forms. Okay, go to profile page and add this part. So material module we have added and reactive forms. Let's go here, and there is some problem. Okay, that's Yeah, this is something which Firebase was able, Angular and Angular CLI was able to find and understand what's the problem. So there is form group, can find strength, and this part. Let's check what we have missed. Okay, cannot. User profile component is file not found. Can't resolve user profile component as CSS. Oh, yes, sometimes I don't know from which version there is some problem with this CSS. It is creating SAS, but I mentioned that I need as CSS. Okay. Yeah, it's some tricky things of Angular, don't mind. Yeah, so now we have form already on our page. We have name, company, position, and we even have these validation things. So name, company, position are required. Company, contact email also, but phone number is not. And yeah, so this was HTML part. Now let's quickly go and add functionality to update our database, to update our data, adding update functionality to our profile. So for this, we need to add a service again, which is user service. User service, as we would like to get data of user, update this data of user, and get later list of users, we will need to have some service. And we are creating this service, we are taking this code part from here. Oops. Yeah. And service here, created. And yeah, here we have Angularfire store, and we have function get users, get user, and update user by UID. And get users are returning all our users. And now, as we have already this service, we can just use this service in our component. So for that, we are going to ng init of our user profile component. This is ng init. It's run when this component is run. When it is internalized, this function is going to be run. And also we need to, this is update. On update we do this function. Okay, we just need to add a few things in our constructor of our user profile. I hope I put it, include this part and include out. So out we have included, I think, already. Yeah. Let's do it. Public out as out service. And also public you service as user service, which we created already. And we can call these functions. Yeah, and we need to define this user property, user, which is for now any type. Okay, we have edit service, edit on init, update. Okay, result will be something like this. We already did it, result. Okay. To make sure we are on the same page, let's take this part and replace. I hope this document will help you when you will try to do it from home. Okay, so in result, we have let me check display company name and so on. Okay. So for you to know, we maybe 10 minutes and we will finish this application. So what we have here, we have to check our database. Let's delete this document. And log in using Google. Okay. There is some problem, cannot find control name company. We need to update it. I didn't update this part. I think. Okay, let's just add it. Company. Okay, so now we are getting data from Firebase and filling our form already because we have already name from Google account. We have email. We can just put a company and put position and update. Yeah, when we refresh this page, we will see this data is coming back. So it's already in Firebase. If we go to Firebase to this document, we will see company, freedom, display name, and so on. So we have done functionality of saving. Let's go forward. We done this part, we done, yeah, let's, as soon as it is working already, let's commit it to Git so we will know our new fresh changes where will be. Add functionality of updating user data. Okay. And now on our editor we will see that everything is white here, nothing changed, and new changes we will see by colors. So now the same, what we would like to have. Now we would like to have a business cards layout. It is something like this. Examples, we can go to material angular.io and when it will be loaded, we will see example. Okay. And from example we can use, so we will create this page where it is here. We will create this page, and for this page we will create separate module as we did with profile page. So for this we do ng generate, m means model, Okay, and go to update routing. So routing will be app module routing module. So as we already have business cards page, we say all paths, let's go to cards list. Card lists goes to business card module, and user profile go to user profile module. Everything is clear for now? Fine, go. If I will go very fast, let me know.
In case of questions, just
Yeah.
for this task, can we write you like some email directly? Like if I do and then I stop somewhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Thank you.
There is a chat. I was showing it.
Hey, I'm there already.
I will get notifications.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah, even we have pictures here. And also, you will find my email. You can
Thank you.
email me. Sure. Okay, so business card model. Yeah,
On the business card page, there is emails.
yeah, sure. And websites also. Routing we updated. Business cards model, it is here. Go to model, and we add routing for business card component. Now we go to business card component. Routing, yeah. Yeah, here is an example. It's basically Go, but it's just a picture. Don't pay so much attention. So it's a style. The style is to have some title, subtitle, some icon here, some text, and for example, some like and share buttons. We will use this example. We'll put these like and share buttons, which you later can replace if you would like. So on Material Angular IO, you will be able to find examples with HTML, with TS, with CSS, everything. So we can just take this part and put on our page and replace some text which we would like to do, and exactly what I already have done. And as we would like to use material card module, I'm just adding it in business card module. So I have material module which contains a lot of modules already. And for example, in profile page, I will not need to have card modules. I will need it only in card list. So this is card modules. I have added and go to business card, add this service. Just a second. Okay. This is HTML part. HTML is here. So what HTML is doing, it's saying, let's title will be display name, subtitle will be position at company. You can put whatever you want. Subtitle will be address and website and also contact email address. And this user, we will get it now here in our component. So in our component, we already have a user service, so we can connect to get users and get this user object. Okay, this is saved. User service, constructor, and variables and component to show list. Okay. Yeah. This is a user and users. Okay. Now if we go to card list, yeah, we will see something like this. This is already some kind of card, but we need to do some CSS tricks to make it more better style. Okay, so we make a little bit bigger. I don't know why it's not detected. Why it should be a CSS. Okay, again the same hesitate to change it to whatever you need as CSS, and make sure it is as CSS here too. Okay. Yeah. So now we have already a better view, which we have also in our business card, this application. Just don't mix it. We created new Firebase project, so it have different database rather than which we already show it to you. Okay, so now as much people will join this page, as much I will, but you will not be able to serve my local host for sure. It's mine. Okay, so what left? Let's a little bit beautify this page. What it means. Hello. Yeah, if we refresh this page, you will see there is something showing later, getting some data and updating, and you don't know it's loading, what is happening. Just I would like to make it more clear to add in app component some functionality, which will add more user-friendly experience. Oh, sorry. User profile, app component. Okay. So I'm adding some just loading. Later you can add some loading even component to show that there is some data is coming and you would like to let user know that there is something expected and loading, that he should wait a little bit and get data. Okay, app component, this is changed. Okay, so got something broken. Sorry, this kind of, okay. Yeah, so now we can later add some loading, and it will not show please log in when you already logged in. Okay, yeah, so now we already have something which is pretty working on our side. Let's commit it to Git. Add business cards module. And we are almost done. Now what we are going to do. So now I would like to give this application to you to check, and how I can do it. You can access my local host, and also I would like to check how it is working on Firebase. So I'm going to Firebase, there is a hosting section, and saying get started. It is saying to me npm install g Firebase tools, which I already have on my side, so it is giving Firebase command line tools which I can use. And now I can do Firebase login, which I already have done. I can do just Firebase init. So if I'm going too fast, now we are doing deployment to Firebase. We did tools login, Firebase init, and on Firebase init it will ask some questions. It will ask what are you going to do with Firebase. Okay, initializing Firebase. We need to select what we need, for example hosting, by pressing space and hitting enter. Later, okay, yeah, it will ask also which project of CLI we would like to use, workshop Armenia it was, if I'm not mistaken, and dist folder. Dist folder is public folder, we need to mention dist and business card sharing if your project name is same. No, our project name is, business card sharing. And we would like to have single page application. I hope everyone know what is a single page application, because you are always seeing it when you are serving web page. It is not refreshing the whole page, and it's just updating some sections of page, and it's saving your time, saving our time, everyone's time. It's very saved, and it's more modern. And also you can use these single page applications in progressive web applications, which means that this page can be also used in mobile application. So you can create mobile application very easily by moving from progressive web app. Okay, we have done initialize of Firebase, and we need to do ng build production. So our this dist folder will be created, and our distributives will be compiled. Why we are doing it? It can take some time. I will explain during this time. I'm doing code, and there is some functionality which is real-time compiled, and I can see immediately some changes. But it's much effective will be to have compiled it already and ready, so you can just open it like HTML you are opening. And there is no compilation is going on behind it. So it is modified, compiled, minified, optimized, and ready just to use. So while we are doing build and with production, dash production, and it's created, you can see some runtime JS, which is minified, some small kilobytes, and so on. So we can list this folder which have business card sharing with these files, and what left to do is just Firebase space deploy. What we are doing now. Firebase deploy. It will check your project, find all your files. It's found files in this business card sharing. Workshop Armenia, begin deploy, uploading new files, and doing some finalization, and that's it. You have already Workshop Armenia Firebase.com. Congratulations. And we can go there and see a result. And this is what in the beginning I was showing to you as a demo. And I can log in here and see list of people. If someone can log in from their phone or laptop also, will be perfect. So I can.
The same link?
No,
Yeah.
now it's a little bit different link. Workshop
Okay.
Armenia.
Freedom, SEO. And as soon as someone will join there, we will see him here because we are on Firebase Cloud Real-Time Database now. Yeah. Yeah, Diana is here.
Also Firebase update.com. Workshop Armenia Firebase.com.
Workshop-Armenia
Firebase.com.
Firebase-app.com. Yeah. And what else? Yeah. Yeah, Aztec is here. Congratulations. Okay, and this is material. Here we have Git repository in GitHub with all this code, where you can just get this and play with this code, try to change something, get something. Cool. A lot of people are here already. So this is already business card sharing application. And there could be some, Julia also here, and here basically what's happening with Firebase and with Angular, one idea in 1 day, in 2 days become to product. Maybe it's a MVP, minimum valuable product, but it's already product. So you don't need to care a lot of about database, about your hostings, some domains and so on. You can just go and create your idea very quickly and host it and get results. So yeah, thanks to everyone who joined, and I hope this gave some value to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So see you.